Medical tyranny is what we're dealing with. That's what this is all about. And we've been experiencing medical tyranny for a very long time. And medical tyranny is this type of thing. You're a nurse and you must get a vaccine in order to work at the hospital. You have to do this with your children to go into school, mandates from the state. Psychiatrist says to a parent, you must put this child on Risperdal because he has behavior problems, or I'll call child protective services, that kind of thing, okay? This is medical tyranny, and the medical system's been getting away with it for a long time. And then here what we have is the biggest episode of medical tyranny affecting the largest number of people at one time ever, right? Well, the good news about it is that the type of medical tyranny I've been describing didn't affect everybody. So people would always say, well, that issue is that family down the street and their kids. I mean, it's not my problem, whatever. But now this is everybody's problem. So if we're going to solve it, we have to take a look at what's been going on for all this time as an attempt to, attempting to solve medical tyranny. Well, people wrote petitions, they sent emails, they staged protests, they signed declarations, they brought expert testimony in front of panels. All kinds of things. They brought injured children and their families in to talk. And what happened? The laws got passed anyway. All right. Anyway, and it just really, I think, is a glaring example of how these elected officials don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about your children. They just want to get elected. That's all they're there for. And we know where the money is coming from that finances these campaigns. So when we saw this, we thought, first of all, we have to start a big national movement to deal with all of these issues, and one of them being medical tyranny. And we have to structure this in a different way than the way we had approached it in the past. And of course, by the time we launched on July 7th, there had been a lot of people trying to solve this problem by emails to their elected officials and declarations and petitions and all that. And it wasn't working here either. So the concept is this: we do several things at the same time. One is that we're amassing the largest voter database of people who have a single issue in mind. I don't want medical tyranny. Any type of it. Don't mandate me doing anything to my body that I don't want to do. And by extension, my minor children. So we filed a lawsuit claiming there's no pandemic, essentially accusing them of fraud. And furthermore, that they know it and that they're deliberately doing this and it's caused harm to all these people. We filed that in Ohio, we filed it in New Mexico. So the difference between this lawsuit and what everybody else has been doing, everybody's been claiming that their constitutional rights have been violated, and they have. The problem is the government shows up and says, well, yes, that's true, but it's an emergency, so we can do this. Well, if your claim is it's not an emergency, the response can't be, it's an emergency, now you have to prove it. And they are desperate to not have to do that. That's what we're doing with the lawsuits. And then we're starting a new program called Small Business Rescue. And the whole idea about all this, by the way, is to franchise it out, cookie cutter it out. Do the same thing here that I did with my for-profit business, which is, systematize and scale, all right? So how you systematize and scale is you use systems and everything the same way and the whole 9 yards. So we have Thursday groups, which is where you start your ground game in the state that you're in, so that you get enough people, you can raise enough money, you can find the right lawyer, you find your experts, you find everything through Thursday groups. I train people Thursday at noon. So we've got a real good machine going on to duplicate this. And we're starting a new program called Small Business Rescue. We're doing a couple of pilot test type things in Ohio, and then we'll franchise that out. So the whole idea will be build the voter database, which is our insurance against this happening again. And we can also use that to take out these career politicians. Lawsuits and more lawsuits and more lawsuits. Eventually you prove the fraud, then you can sue the airlines and you can sue, like I said, when they put me in the ground, I will be in court the day before that they put me in the ground. So lawsuits, and then really doing things to rebuild our society. I even have a program I want to do to start rescuing children who are functionally illiterate as a result of all of this. We have a program for that, but that we can't do too much at once. So these organizations, if you look at all of them, what you've had is a handful of people at the top who work their rear ends off. And some of these people have dedicated their entire lives to doing it. They report to everybody what they're doing. And everybody sits there and waits for them to solve the problem. This will never work. It has never worked before. And you know the saying, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. And the true definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect different results. So I have made it crystal clear with all the people that I'm dealing with that this problem will only be solved when there are enough citizens involved to solve it. So I'm happy to report every week what I/we are doing for you. But I need to hear from you what you're doing to help this, okay? So you've got to go find people and start a Thursday group. You don't need Thursday night social time. You need Thursday night, I work for MAFA time, all right? I work for America time. And that is starting to catch on. And everybody says, well, how do I find a lawyer and how do I start the Thursday groups and everything will take care of itself? Because the people that we're looking for who are really good at this kind of stuff are not necessarily people you're going to find on the internet. So all things come from building. And this is the thing that will save America. This is the thing that will rebuild education, rebuild our businesses, rebuild our economy in the right way, rebuild the way we get information. You know, everything will come from banding together people of like mind. And the way that you find them, and then people start this, well, I'll just put stuff on Facebook. Okay, you're doing everything but what I'm asking you to do. Go talk to people, all right? And if you just start your Thursday meeting with one person, then you guys figure out how to go get a third person, and that's what we did here. And by the way, some great ways to find out if somebody is worth talking to. And here's the great question to ask. So how are you holding up under all this stuff that's going on? When you get two answers, well, we're doing our best to stay safe. Okay, next. All right. Or you get this other answer. Oh, God, I can't wait for this to be over. And I tell them, well, first of all, you can take off your mask. And the second thing, come to our Thursday night meeting. So you can just that question is really a great way to sort people out in terms of if this is a person that you could invite to your meeting. So we need to get back to local and back to connecting with people and people caring about people in a different sort of way.